Thanks indeed for staying with us here. I've been told that we've been able to connect with Mr. Godwin and Ike. Very sad. So much delay this morning here, but I just hope our viewers tend to understand. This Godwin Ike are very passionate, have waited this long because he really want to speak on matters of aviation. You can wake him up in the dead of the night and he would speak once it is aviation. Okay, Mr. Godwin Ike is there now. Let's quickly commence the conversation here and get his take on what he thinks. Hello, Mr. Godwin Ike, good morning.
Morning, Attah. May I call your attention to the fact that the orientation of your camera out there is cutting your head into two. So at least you can do something quickly while we talk.
Okay, we'll note that here. The engineers will be fixing that here. How are you enjoying the lockdown?
Sorry?
How are you enjoying the lockdown?
Well, the lockdown is taking too long. What can one say? We are home, obeying the laws of the land. But this is taking too long. I think we need to rethink it and see how else we can deal with the situation we have on our hands.
Okay, very quickly now, let's ask you now, Nigerians stranded overseas. What's your take on that particular topic that many have seen dominating discourse in the media?
Oh, well, yes, I have been reading quite a lot about the experiences Nigerians who traveled for business and those who are living abroad and who desire to come home are going through. For me, it's a mixed reel. I think that Nigerians who genuinely traveled abroad, either for business or for leisure, and who have their return tickets with them, should not be made to pay kind of money that the government agency is demanding of them. Japanese always say good thinking, look through that. We have to think this through a little better. When Nigerians travel out of the country genuinely with their air ticket to and through, and this kind of situation that the legal insurance people will call force majeure takes place. But it's somebody's fault. I'm mindful that the people in question might have spent quite a lot of time in hotels, beyond their planned, time of stay, and have been feeding themselves. So the likelihood is that they would have run out of cash. And so it makes sense that government finds a way to repurchase those return tickets and then confront the airlines with them and get refunds. So that repurchase means that that the government will now issue them free return tickets. But the government is necessarily going to lose that money. Any airline who wants to still operate into Nigeria, when things are normalized, will be wise to behave well. And so those repurchase tickets can be returned to the airlines and refunds obtained by government. Then for those, you see hearing me, Attah?
I'm hearing you very clearly, loud and clear.
Wonderful. And for those who are living abroad and who think that they are better off back home and who plan to come home, normally, if you plan as a family to leave your place of abode to come to your home country, nobody offers you a free flight, to come home. It makes sense that they pay their bills and find their way home. And again, the issue of quarantine, I do not think it's fair to have Nigerians that are coming home not because that they are sick, and not because they have any medical report that says they are positive or negative, but because we want to carry out our protocol, routine checks to ensure that none of them slips into the society with the virus. It doesn't make sense to ask them to pay for their accommodation, during their quarantine period. Quarantine is a demand made of them by the society for the benefit of the society and for the safety of the society.
Yeah. Hello, Mr.
Yes,
Goddy.
that bill should be borne by the government.
Hello.
I mean the bill.
If you can help us centralize your camera, we'll like it. If you can help us centralize your camera, we'll like it. You are on one side of the screen so that we can actually get to see your good face more boldly. We'll like it so much.
Are you seeing me better now?
Okay, that's good. That's lovely. That's very lovely. That's very lovely. Now,
Okay.
now quickly, let me ask you this going forward here. Should someone be coming, because there are school of thoughts here, some believe that those who are already there should wait until the coronavirus pandemic is over so that they don't bring more of the problem we're already battling in-house here, while some are saying they can come in here. From your view, what do you think? Should they be allowed to come in or wait until after the pandemic is over?
Everything depends on the law operating at every point in time. If a lockdown and ban in flight is in place, there shouldn't be any discussion of anyone planning to visit Nigeria. It shouldn't even be discussed. Since we're still having a flight ban, I mean, it's on record right now that a British Airways flight is in detention right now, is being detained for operating a commercial flight into Nigeria. That is making, the news is making its rounds, and we know that that is true. For those who want to visit, I think normally they should be stopped, because it's not time to exchange flights, between nations. We are still having a flight ban in place. So for government officials to even consider taking on those category of passengers, it's on its own unlawful. It shouldn't be on the table. That kind of discussion shouldn't be on the table at the moment. But for those who traveled for business or for leisure and who have their return ticket, yes, they have a right to come back to their home country where they reside. And it is the business of government to ensure that each citizen stranded abroad are brought home. So those category of passengers should be attended to, and that's my take. It was unlawful in the first place to discuss bringing in people who just simply desire to visit Nigeria, because of the pandemic, and who are not residing in Nigeria. It was unlawful to even put that kind of discussion on the table, since we have a ban on flights, coming in and out of Nigeria. So it's about lawmakers breaking the law. Otherwise, it shouldn't be discussed at all. It shouldn't be on the table at all.
Okay, now, looking at the one you raised about the issue of the return ticket for those persons who got stuck there, maybe for business trip or whatever. But let's be asking you now, what of those persons who actually travel out and got their visa, and their visa got expired? What should be their fate now?
Oh, well, here again, we are dealing with force majeure. And a whole lot of countries out there are civilized, and civilized enough to understand that a special situation that's beyond everyone's control is on the table. And therefore, if lockdown, catches up on those who genuinely and legally, visited other countries, and they got stuck there, and in the process, their visas expired, I do not expect that the countries will charge them with breaking their laws, because it's a situation that is of nature and beyond the control of everyone. To some kind of temporary extension, should be given to the individuals in question in order to still have them within the confines of the law. See, Attah, there's absolutely nothing on the surface of this earth that you cannot think through and find a solution to. Every legal issue has an answer. Nothing is cast on steel and iron. Things are usually fluid and flexible when necessary. At this point in time, it is necessary that those whose visas are expired should have a temporary extension of their visas in order for them to be seen as lawfully staying in the country while plans are made to evacuate them. And so it's as simple as that, Attah.
Okay, what about those persons who appear to have gotten their visa long expired before COVID-19 and may just be hiding in some countries and now they want to come back home here? What would be their fate as well?
Those are lawless individuals, and whatever the law prescribes for them, they go through. I have my own relations back home in my hometown who sometimes come up with ideas. Want to travel abroad, and then my question will be to them, what do you want to go do there? And then they explain, we have nothing doing in Nigeria, we have no job, we graduated for over 5-10 years and all this blah blah blah. And then my counsel will always be, if you can't immigrate legally, please do not make that trade. That's what, and a whole lot of them listen to me, and they eventually engage themselves in something very useful, and some of them are very grateful today that I pointedly looked them in the eyes and said, don't make that trip illegally. If you want to immigrate, go through the process and get.
Hello, can you hear
me? Visa that will ensure that you are legally in the country. But for you to
Okay, hello. If we can't get Mr. Goddy, we're having some a break in that internet transmission here. We're hoping that we could get that very clearly. But Mr. Goddy, in any case, if you can hear me, would like to talk, because I got a question to ask you about the fact that the carrying capacity of the isolation center appeared to have been stretched, and you've got some complaint. Hello, can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Hello.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Okay. Yeah. Now, if you can hear me very clearly here, some persons who were returned, we've seen video trending. They have been complaining bitterly that they've not been so fairly well treated after being returned from the country, returned into the country.
Well, that would be very unfortunate if NCDC would take in people quarantine to monitor and ensure that they don't have the virus. They have for my job. So it will be sad and unfortunate that those individuals are poorly treated. So we can only cancel and appeal to the appropriate authorities to ensure that the people that are being quarantined are taken care of well. This is part of the image of our country and the image of every one of us as a people. We can't afford to have our image so battered as a result of our unacceptable conduct. So I will cancel that those in NCDC and the rest of other departments that are responsible for ensuring that people are well taken care of up their games and ensure that this campaign comes to an end. We can only cancel. There's really nothing more we can do.
But are you not worried that should we continue in this part of our flying in, most persons stranded abroad, our centers of isolation would likely get overstretched?
So come again with that question.
I say, if someone have raised concern that should we keep flying in, some stranded person or some persons, some Nigerians in diaspora are back home at this time, our isolation center or quarantine centers would likely be overstretched.
Oh, well, that's why it makes sense that we should be, thinking ahead. Planlessness is usually a big problem. When people do not plan well, that's what you find. Attah, I tell you what, I must tell you that I am not very impressed at the conduct of those who are, collecting and receiving offers made by patriotic Nigerians. For instance, Attah, barely 1 week into the lockdown and this whole quarantine saga, I personally wrote to the Minister of Health through the office of his permanent secretary. I have my acknowledged copy, offering them a massive house in my hometown of Nnewi in Anambra State. A place that's got enough room that if you want to have helicopters operating from all over the southeastern states, the space right opposite the facility can land 50 helicopters simultaneously. Even if for any reason the house in question does not meet the design and standard of what is required, what is civil is that a gentle reply will be an acknowledgement, will be sent in, and the individual thanks for his thoughtfulness, and of course, they give reason why that facility is not appropriate, and that will encourage one that in the future, if one has something else that he or she can help the society with, one can come up. With this kind of treatment, I tell you what, Attah, I doubt if anything that demands citizens to come up with whatever they have comes up in the future, that I am encouraged to ever listen to any such request. I feel insulted and maltreated that out of my volition, I wrote and offered a massive asset of mine to say, use this as a center, just in case you begin to run out of space, in the ones you already have. And I do not have a simple courtesy of an acknowledgement and a reply more than a month running, and they are busy singing songs of not having enough bed space. If you ask me, we are conducting ourselves inappropriately, and somebody must change and begin to behave well.
Okay, Mr. Goddy, we want to let you rest now, but let's just get what you're expecting from the president broadcast this evening. The president will be talking to the country as the SGF told Nigerians here. What will you be expecting from the president broadcast? Do you want a full relaxation, or do you want us to gradually go through the process, or do you want a return to full lockdown?
I will not be able to speculate because we have myriad of problems in the country at the moment. There are a lot of security issues all over the places. And there are a lot of, extrajudicial killings going on in the name of enforcing COVID-19 protocols and rules. A whole lot of things are going on. So one cannot effectively really speculate on what Mr. President is about to say to us. We can only keep our fingers crossed and wait and listen. I won't speculate because there's so much going on, and one does not know what he plans to address the nation on. So let's just keep our fingers crossed, wait and hear him, and then after that we can talk.
Okay, now quickly before you go again, let me just drop this one here. Based on your prediction and what you see now from your experience in and out of the country severally here, away from aviation, just some kind of medical prediction here. Do you see us coming out of COVID-19 very soon?
Oh, well, I must tell you that I've always had the opinion that our lives should not end or stop because of coronavirus. As a matter of fact, again, 2 weeks into the thing breaking out, I remember I was on Armed Forces Radio 107.7, and I was asked a similar question, and I made it clear to my shocked audience that rather than lockdown, Nigeria should actually open up and take over the economy of the world. Because the way I personally see this pandemic going on is that solution lies here in Africa. If we work hard enough, we should be able to find solutions for the world, and then in the process take over the economy of the world. But it will appear that we're happy with donations and happy with spending as much as we can, even in areas that are necessary. If that's what we want to go on doing as a people, well, good luck to us. We want to begin to think well so that we can have good products, like Japanese will always say, good thinking, good product. If we want to begin to think well and begin to deliver good products, also good luck to us. Some of us are pretty, very pointed at a few things, and are happy also. It's a mixed prayer. I'm happy also about a few things, but we can only continue to encourage government to do the best it can under the circumstances we find ourselves. As for the issue of aviation, the world is gone ahead with all kinds. I am aware that while a whole lot of airlines are sitting on the ground, folding arms and waiting and watching, for instance, the likes of Emirates immediately changed the internal configuration of their airplanes to become COVID-19 compliant and getting ready to take to the skies, as soon as possible. My big question would be, what have we done in the aviation sector to get ourselves ready for post-COVID-19, if there will ever be post? Because when you say post-COVID-19, you are simply saying that the virus, has suddenly disappeared. But yes, as long as the virus is here with us and we plan to move on with our life, it makes sense that we get ready, configure or rather reconfigure, our airplanes in a way to reduce to the barest minimum possibility of people, contacting those viruses, in the airplanes and at the airport. We must be seen to be doing something positive, looking forward to resuming our lives, even side by side with coronavirus. So the earlier we turn on our economy, the better for us.
I thank you very much, Mr. Godwin and Ike. Hope you're enjoying the lockdown. You look really good. You look more heavily rested this morning.
Yes, I am really well rested, yeah. And I can tell you, my wife is very happy about my looks. She told me that. She actually told me that again this morning, that I'm looking much better. That it will appear that work was stressing the hell out of my life. She told me that. Yeah. And my little boy here also, says that to me every time. He has a business of always hugging and kissing my cheeks and saying, "Oh, Daddy, you've got chubby cheeks right now." So, would I say thank God for COVID-19 that you not some help?
Okay, thank you very much, the young man there. Young man there want to go see what Daddy was doing there. That's the key sometimes. The young guy had to check. Hey, guy, who's Daddy talking to? Hey, Daddy was on and guiding us through aviation. That's a wonderful one there. I like that guy. A very nice one. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Goddy Enike. Thank you for that wonderful time with us here. That's how far we can go on the program. Sarana Bizigwe is standing by. She will be looking at the FCT and so many issues bordering on COVID-19, lockdown relaxation, and expectations going forward.
It would be if your bank was part of your life, sort of like an assistant, a buddy.